everyone, I'm Josh, this is Becky. We're the guardian homes of Nala and Noki. I can't pick up Nala, she's a little too big to pick up, but this is sweet Noki. Hi. So we just wanted to come to you today and tell you what it's like to be a guardian home, the responsibilities you have, the pros and cons, and well, let's all have some fun with it. Let's go! Woohoo!
I'll just tell you kind of where we got started. So originally when we got Nala, she was not a guardian home. We kind of tossed around the idea, but at that time in our life, we weren't for sure we were going to stay local. And so we decided to not do the guardian option, and we got Nala. About around February of this year, we were talking to Chelsea, and we ended up getting hiccup for a short time, and that kind of opened our eyes to the guardian process. And we were wondering, it was right before we got Nala spayed, and we kind of were tossing around the idea of maybe she could have a litter of puppies. So we went down that road, and Nala has obviously already had a litter of puppies. And it was kind of nerve-wracking at first. I would say that process where she went into heat, and then she went to Chelsea's and got studded out, that was interesting. You know, your once energetic, happy-go-lucky dog kind of becomes different. Those hormones are a different experience for a female dog, and just that first experience for them is kind of, it feels traumatizing as the owner, just kind of knowing what they're going through, but it's very rewarding. Nala got pregnant with Gizmo, and she had a litter of 9 beautiful puppies, and it was probably the most ideal pregnancy, delivery, everything. Everybody was healthy, there was no complications, and the whole process was smooth. And Chelsea made that really easy for us. She talked us through the whole process. She was always here and supported us, answered our questions. If something didn't feel right, she went above and beyond to make the process as smooth as possible.
Becky, what are some responsibilities that come with being a guardian home? What are some responsibilities that come with being a guardian home?
There are a lot of responsibilities with being a guardian home. You have to keep up with your dogs, so you need to be responsible and take them to the vet for all of their vaccinations and make sure they're staying healthy. You need to listen to what Chelsea wants you to feed your dog. So if the breeder has a specific food that your dog is supposed to eat, you need to be respectful of that and buy that food for your dog and kind of adhere to what the breeder is asking you to do. You need to make sure you're staying up with their grooming. Look at Noki's hair. It's curly and wavy, and it gets matted super easy. So if you're not combing them out on a regular basis, that can get really bad. And it doesn't just look bad, but it's also really unhealthy for them. That itches, and then they start scratching there, and it's just not a good thing. So you need to make sure you're staying up on their grooms and getting them haircuts when they need haircuts. You need to be trimming their nails on a consistent basis. You know, the longer that their nail gets, the longer that quake grows, and then you can't cut them short anymore, and that gets really uncomfortable. It can lead to early arthritis and just all kinds of different health problems. So you really need to stay on top of taking care of your dog. The other piece of it is that you have to have really good communication with Chelsea. If you're not having good communication, then that relationship is not going to be what she needs it to be. So you need to take care of your dog. You need to have good communication with Chelsea. She needs not just, hey, my dog is in heat, or hey, like she needs to take this male dog to be studded out. You need to be flexible, and you need to communicate with her and give her the things that she needs. Otherwise, she can't make this smooth for you. So, you know, it's a two-way street. She wants to make it easy for you, but you also have to help her in that process. Any input?
So basically, the one thing to remember, okay, is this dog, she may live in your house. The dog may be friends with your puppies, may be friends with you. This dog ain't your dog, okay?
Well, it is your dog. It's a co-owning relationship, so you co-own with Chelsea.
Yes.
Just correction.
Yes.
It is your dog. We want you to feel like it's your dog. Okay?
It is your dog. But the one thing to remember is that you are supporting someone else's business. Okay? When you become a guardian home, you're not doing this just to. When you buy a pet, okay? When you buy
a discount puppy.
When you buy a regular puppy, okay, you want to take good care of your puppy. But when you become a guardian home, it's like this is you owning a puppy, this is you becoming a guardian home. Because there's a lot more responsibility with that. Because let's face it, if all you're doing is just basically owning a pet, that's not what a guardian home is for. The guardian home is meant to, like what Becky said, it's meant to communicate with the breeder. It has a lot more responsibility because you want this dog to be well trained also, okay? Because Chelsea, no breeder wants, their guardian homes to be going stud out somewhere or to be, potentially have a litter of puppies and they'd be a spaz, okay?
Your dog is the face of Dela Doodles. So let's say you had a business, you want that face of your business to be the best. So that means you have to train your dog, you have to keep the grooming up, they have to be in perfect and good condition and health. Like, this is a reputation, it's a business, and so being a guardian home is more than just getting a discount puppy. It's not about that. It's not
You got
about
a discount puppy? I did not realize that guardian homes were free puppies.
It's not free, but it's not a discount puppy. It's not the prettiest of the litter. It's really about growing a family. Being a guardian home is about being a part of a family. You become part of this business with Chelsea.
And that's one good thing about being a guardian home is that you become part of the business. Is that if you're wanting to be a guardian home just to say, like Becky said, to have the prettiest of the litter, that's not the right thing to do. Because Chelsea's not looking for the prettiest of the litter to always do a guardian home with. She's looking for a guardian home. She wants a puppy that's going to give good puppies. Okay, don't get me wrong. We want good, healthy puppies, and Dela Doodles is just that. But she wants a guardian home family that she knows is going to take responsibility for that dog. Quite frankly, you want to spoil that dog, okay?
But still train it.
Train it, but spoil it. And I know a lot of guardian home puppies do just that. They spoil their dog out the wazoo. Oh man, I love watching them though. I mean, so I guess one of the positive things about being in a guardian home is that if you get the responsibility of whelping the puppy at your house, okay? If you get that responsibility,
It's
not everyone gets that responsibility, okay? Is like Becky is earned.
It's like a job. So you enter a job at an entry level, right? Okay, and then over time, you establish a reputation. You've proven yourself to your employer. You show up on time. You have good communication. Your work ethic is proven. So in order to get to that point in the relationship, you have to prove yourself. You have to show that you're trustworthy and accountable. And let me tell you how hard it is to have a litter of puppies at your house. Like, this is no fun and games, guys. Like, it's a lot of work.
It's so rewarding, though.
Definitely rewarding.
It's rewarding.
And we love it. But let's talk about smell. Those puppies get to the point where mom quits cleaning up that poop.
You have to be the one to clean up that poop.
All over. And it is messy and smelly. So, it's not just about, oh, look at these cute little puppies. They're so fun. It's a lot of work. And if that's at a point where you get in your guardian relationship, make sure you do not take it lightly. Like, you have to keep these tiny puppies alive. And there's a lot riding on each of those puppies' lives. They already have families, people that love them. Like, it's just huge. So it's not something to take lightly, and that's a responsibility that comes over time. You don't enter into guardianship and automatically assume that's what's going to happen. It's a process. Just like when you enter in a job and an employment, you have to go through that process. And not everybody's going to be given that privilege. So just know that that's something that will happen over time if that's a goal of yours. So, if it's not, there are people like us who love doing it, and that's totally fine too.
What's the biggest positive about being in guardian home? The biggest positive, besides getting the puppy? Okay.
I think it's really honestly the newfound relationship that you have with Chelsea and her family. You're not just another person that gets a puppy. You become her family, and you learn and you grow with her, and you get this little dog that has another family too. Like, we love Nala and Noki with all our hearts, but other people love her too, just as much as we do. So that's really unique and special. And I always know she has other people that love her and other people that can care for her if something were to happen. So I think that's probably the biggest part, is that you become part of a family, and watching these dogs grow and make new life, it's amazing.
So with that being said, because let's face it, not all, you can't be all sun and roses and everything's all the time, okay? What's the biggest con? What's the biggest drawback to being a guardian home?
If you don't want to share your dog, if you have reservations about breeding, this is not for you. Please, if you have reservations about breeding, if you don't want to communicate, if you're not going to be on board with that, then let's just stop it right now. We'll just close this door, and then you can look at owning a dog as a part of your family, but not as a breeding dog. So I think that's the biggest con. I think people enter into it not fully understanding what it means, and so that's what we're here to tell you and talk with you about today. So just really know and understand what your beliefs are on breeding and co-owning a dog, because really this is Chelsea's dog. This is your dog. It's not just your dog. You have to be able to hand over some control and really respect what she wants done. So I think that's probably the biggest con, and something you really have to contemplate and think about before making that decision.
Yeah, it's hard because it all goes back to communication. And then the other thing I always want to say is, all right, if you have children, we have 2 little girls, okay? They like to make a mess of the house. I love to make a mess of the house. And so we're constantly have to clean up their mess, okay? Being a guardian home, you have a new puppy. Okay, you become a guardian home, you become part of that family, and then this dog will eventually have little puppies of her own. You know what those little puppies are gonna do? They will make a mess of your house. They'll make your house stink, and they'll make a mess of your house. So you have to be responsible enough to keep a clean house.
Think about, just quick analogy. Think about when you bring a newborn home. If you're a parent, you understand the responsibilities of bringing a newborn home. They are completely reliant on you. Magnify that times 9 puppies. It's a lot of responsibility.
It's a lot of responsibility.
There, you get sleepless nights those first few weeks, making sure that nobody gets smothered, or everyone's getting the food they need, or making sure they're gaining weight. Like, it's a lot of responsibility. So, just throwing that out there.
And then, but being a guardian home is a blessing, guys, because and it keeps going on. I know we keep saying this over and over, but it's a community thing. Yeah. You're not just buying a puppy from Chelsea. You're getting a puppy that will make another family happy.
And it's not a free puppy.
It's not a free puppy.
That money that you're putting forward for a guardian dog really shows how invested you are. It shows that, you're not just looking for a free puppy, that you're willing to invest the time and the money into a dog that's going to produce dogs for other people and their families. It's becoming a part of that family. We have Noki and Nala, and I've already reaped the benefits of watching 9 puppies go to families who were absolutely just in love with these puppies, and watching them interact and grow in a relationship. Like, that's so amazing as a dog owner, to know that I was able to gift somebody else with that. It's huge, and that's probably one of the biggest rewards, is watching these puppies go to families that truly love them and are investing time into helping them become a part of their family.
So if you have any questions about, what's the food, what do we have for, don't be afraid to ask them in the comments. Becky and I are here. Chelsea will be here to answer questions. But if you really truly want to go into a guardian home, it's really something you want think about very, very hardly.
And I'm sure you'd want to read over the contract. There's a lot of different things that you're going to be required to do. A lot of things we really haven't touched on, but a lot of technicalities. And
one thing I'll tell you right now, okay? Noki doesn't go outside by herself. Okay? Let's face it, we live in Alaska. She's eagle bait. Okay? One of them bald eagles will swoop down and grab this little girl and just take off with her. I'm a guardian home. Not only am I that, I love my Noki. Okay? I love you, Noki. You love me? Yeah, you do. Okay. And I don't want her getting swooped up. Okay? Because the way I see it is if she gets swooped up, families that could be happy from her won't be. And then I'll be devastated.
not to mention that we just love her.
My girls will be devastated. My wife will be devastated. Nala will be devastated. Trust me, yes, Nala will be devastated.
You would be sleeping in the garage.
I would be sleeping in the garage. Not even on the couch. I don't even get the couch. Wow. So, but if you want to do that, read over the application, read over the contract.
Yep.
It's something that you definitely want
Ask
to.
questions. Like, we're here to answer questions. You can Facebook message
I can't tell you how many questions we still ask Chelsea.
Yeah, it's okay. You can ask questions.
Just ask. So, any other thing that you can think about that we didn't cover? I mean,
I can't think of anything, but like we said, please feel free to Facebook message us or comment. Whatever. Chelsea's always available. We're always available. Just let us know.
all right. Well, guys, bye.